Hey, Dabo Chapel with the state. Not sure how much you've looked into it, but the NCAA officially did away with just the national letter of intent today. What's kind of your read on that and how it relates to the revenue sharing coming and just how that'll affect you all, if at all?
It's there'll be some type of scholarship agreement. Will take its place, but I don't know many details on all that. But I am encouraged that the rev share seems like it's going to the next step and pushing forward. So that's a positive.
And looking back on Khil Barnes' recruiting process, guy who was committed to wait, what do you remember about identifying him and getting him to flip? And how nice is it to have him on this side of that game now?
Yeah, he was a guy, a lot of people recruited as a receiver. And initially that was kind of what he wanted to play. And but he's just a kid that just, he's the epitome of what we talk about in this game of guys develop, guys get better, That's one of the reasons I don't like to offer freshmen and sophomores is, a lot of times those freshmen and sophomores aren't the best players as seniors. And a lot of times those sophomores that you wouldn't really offer, by the time they're seniors, man, they're great players. And it's a developmental game. And he's a guy that just kept getting better and better and better. And really glad we got him. He's a special player.
This is Larry. Justine Davis, number 30, their edge guy. It seems like they move him around a good bit to try to get good matchups and get him into the backfield. What's your read on him in that aspect?
Yeah, I mean, they move everybody. They don't really stand still very often. He's a great player. I mean, that whole front, all them guys. I mean, 55 is a heck of a player. They're all active and up the field type of guys. Got some explosiveness to them, but they move everywhere. I mean, they are constantly slanting and twisting and adding on, dropping. So we got to be able to handle, identify where everybody is and handle all the movement that we'll see with this bunch.
Hey, Dabo, this is Daren Carter with the Greenville News. Just curious, I believe you said you graded Khil Barnes as an A in the games against NC State and App State. What was his grades against Stanford and FSU?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I mean, graded a winner, but I don't remember the exact grade.
Got you. And you talked about on Tuesday about players building consistency over their performance of game to game. Was K one of those players from last year who kind of had to build consistency rather than fluctuate in his performance?
Cade?
Yes.
I don't know. Cade's been very consistent. He's been incredibly consistent. Week in and week out. I'm really proud of him. Are you talking about? Did you say Klubnik or Denhoff?
Klubnik.
Yeah. He's been really consistent.
In comparison to last year as well.
Yeah. Totally different from last year. I mean, last year he was, he did a lot of good things, but he would have a lot of things that, we got to get better at. And, those things he's got to improve. It's a smaller list each week. He's doing way more good. He's much more consistent. He's taking care of the ball. He's not taking a bunch of negative plays. He's using his legs. He's got complete command of the offense. He's doing a great job from a situational standpoint. He's a great leader. He's got great presence in the pocket. These are all areas that he needed to improve in from last year. In particular, taking sacks, taking TFLs, and taking care of the ball. And he's doing an outstanding job with that.
Hey, Dabo, this is Grayson, man. Just with Troy Stellato getting back into the lineup against Florida State, what was it like to have him out there, and how do you anticipate his role growing as he returns from injury?
Yeah, he's just one of them seven. They're all battling. They're all battling for time, and so he had some nice plays for us. Had a few good catches and some contested plays, but just continuing to do his job. There was a couple other opportunities that he created some separation and got open, didn't get the ball, but he's impacting the game without the ball too, and that's what we try to get these guys to understand is, you know, whether you play 20 plays or 40 plays, maybe you have 4 catches and everybody thinks you had a great game, but how did you impact the game on all those other plays? Did it matter that you were on the field? And so all those guys are competing. You know, he's trying to take advantage of his opportunity, and he's a tough kid. But you know, we got a great group of depth, and you know, all those guys deserve opportunity to play, and he's one of them.
Yeah, but I know Stanford might have surprised your defense with some of their options stuff. Wake runs, like, it looks like a good bit of it too. Is that maybe an opportunity for them to show that, I guess, they can defend it better?
Yeah, I mean, they're different. They're pretty different in you know, and unique in their style, just like Stanford was pretty unique as well. But you know, the quarterback's a good runner. You know, that kid was probably just a little faster. This guy's, you know, probably just a little bit more aggressive as far as like his physicality in the run game. And you know, their slow mesh creates a lot of conflict, you know, on your safeties and your linebackers, especially in the pass game. So, you know, biggest thing is we got to do a great job of leveraging the ball. You know, we did a much better job last week. That was great to see. You know, they rushed for 22 yards and they tried to get on the edges on us a few times. So, you know, we've got to continue to do that. And it's not just your D-line. I mean, it's your corners, it's your safeties fitting into the run game. It's you know, tackles coming around on twists. It's your backers. It's everybody, you know, leveraging the ball properly. And then everybody's got to have good gap integrity. That's how you stop the run. Everybody's just got to do their job. And, you know, eyes on the right thing and be disciplined in that.
You said I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you said they moved their guys up front around a lot on defense, but are they sitting back on the back end a little more, keeping things in front of them more than they have in past years?
You know, I would say so. Maybe just a little bit more coverage oriented. You know, a couple years ago, very aggressive. You know, but I think they mix it up. I mean, you know, I think they want to make you put drives together. And I think that's kind of their philosophy, is make you have to put drives together. So they're going to give up some stuff. But can you finish? Can you execute all the way to the goal line without making a mistake? And so that's and you know, they do a good job, again, with all the movement. And when you do run the ball, it looks like a light box, but all of a sudden, you know, they're swarming. And the box gets heavy quick. So you got to really have a good plan on how to attack it, and you can't get overly aggressive because, again, there is a lot of coverage. So you got to be disciplined. You got to put drives together. Yards after the catch. You got to break tackles. You know, obviously, if the box is light and they're playing a lot of coverage, you got to be able to run the ball. So there's a lot that goes into it, but they're a team also that will light you up, and they will challenge you, especially as you get into the plus territory. So, you know, nothing really different than what we've seen. We've seen a little bit of everything these first 5 games, but they do a really good job as far as how they teach it, how they communicate, you know, their discipline with their leverage, their eyes, how they react to the right thing. So, you know, we just gotta execute very well, and again, then we got to finish the drives in the red zone, something we didn't do very well last year.
Hey, Coach, it's David. Just now that you've had 3 practices this week, anything or anybody notable on the injury front?
No, we're just, you know, kind of got some guys that are day to day, and you know, a few guys get banged up this time of year, but you know, we'll see where everybody is by Friday. We've got a couple guys that are close, but we'll see where they are by Friday when we load up and go.
Hey, Dabo, it's Chappell again. With Tyler and Root gone, what defensive tackles are working in the jumbo package? I don't think we've seen it this year, but who are those guys that you're considering in that spot if it were to ever come to that?
That is intellectual property I cannot share at this time. you just have to wait and see if who says we have the jumbo package. Who says that? I don't know. But you never know. We may, and you'll see once we run them out there.
Fair enough. And I had to ask. Mike Dooley said on the radio show that there's this hot dog in Winston-Salem that's like the best one he's ever had. Have you had that hot dog at PB's Takeout, or what do you know about that? It seems kind of like a legend among the program.
Well, first of all, their Thursday trips are legendary, but I don't make those Thursday trips. So we've got that's a part of we call our advanced team. So they leave out early Thursday morning, and they get to the next, and Dooley's he's got an itinerary 10 pages long and a million meetings, and from everybody involved in that will be dealing with our team, from the airport to the police to the movie theater to the hotel, food, you name it. It's all work that's got to be done before the team arrives on Friday. But part of their travel itinerary everywhere they go is where's the best hot dog, and so they've been to some spots, but I have not been to this one in particular. But they've got quite a group. It'd probably be fun to follow that group around. That ought to be like one of our vlogs or something, following the advanced team on a Thursday trip. That might be some good footage. Might have to edit some of it though. I would imagine.